Welcome to Schopfield Music. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and bell it, yo. Cheers.
One more time.
So, on the Kemper, you've got stops, stack, and effects. The stack area is kind of where the amp cabinet is created in the machine.
Oh, those are different emulations of cabinets.
Within the stack, you've got your amplifier, which you can adjust things, the EQ, the
Okay.
cabinet, and you can change a few things.
So it's multiple things that's in the stack.
Yes, and I'll be honest with you, unfortunately, I've not yet figured out how to master that. My understanding here, the stops are all going to be coming in, like in your analog world,
Right.
all your effects before you get to the cabinet.
Before you get to the cabinet,
And then you've got
the
something that's
amplifier.
post.
Right.
So these are all pre
Okay.
input. The effects over here are post input. So on the effects side, which is all post, these effects can be in stereo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something to consider. So a lot of times I like to put a phaser effect on the post side because that's a stereo phase,
Right.
and two of them are already permanently decided as delay and reverb.
Okay.
Then you have what they call the modulation effect and then the X factor.
I have a question.
Now, controllable on my foot pedal right now, the way I have it configured, is just the one X effect and A through C.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
When I use pedals, I have an effects loop. And then I also have preamplifier. Is that what those ones are? Those running through the effects loop, or are they running after the amplifier totally?
I don't understand what you mean.
Nah. Let's read in the manual what that says, because
I'd be
that's going to
happy
make a
to.
huge difference to me.
Does anybody know where I put the manual? I just had it.
Fifth or sixth
All
of it.
right. The effects section is where you can add stereo effects after, post, the mono stopping section, and the amp stack. Does that answer your question? And they consider it just pre and post.
Right.
So pre, I think, is everything that goes from your guitar into this before you hit your amp. And post would be anything that comes after that, which I would assume would be in the effects loop.
In the effects of so
So I think effects loop and post are going to be the same. Please let us know in the comments if we are wrong.
because if it's an effects loop, what I would consider being a normal pedal order would be any type of, and there's no right or wrong again with pedals, because experimentation is the best, and always recommend trying different things, certainly. But for me, I would much rather see a delay, a reverb, ambient sounds, like my digital H9 pedal is all digital emulations of different sounds, and to me it is best in the effects loop. However, for my lead tone, my Echoplex is running before the amplifier. So when I click on a distortion pedal or an overdrive pedal to gain the grit that I'm looking for, I also would click on my delay pedal to allow that to almost thicken up and get that sound, because that was really the sound of rock and roll back in the day. They didn't have effects loops back then.
Correct. Well, I believe they have this set up in the exact same way, whereas the type of effects you were just describing are the ones that they suggest would go on this side
In the
as well.
effects loop, right.
So-
Because what do they come from the factory with?
Besides, it's called effects. So maybe that's short
Effects
for
loop.
effects loop.
Right.
Stops. pretty clean tone we have found.
I'm loving this thing.
Now, we have 3 effects that we can really use. 4. The 4th one can be a stereo effect if we want.
Nice.
But I have 4 settings we can have. So we can have one that I can just push by the machine, which is fine.
Right.
Or one that's always on.
Okay, like an always on pedal, right. I have one of those too.
Like, always on would be possibly a
Clean boost.
clean boost.
Yes.
Or, I was thinking more like an EQ or
Yeah, or an
compression.
EQ. Another great pedal to have on all the time would be an EQ. But what I would probably like to see in EQ is the last thing before you hit the amp. So that way
Okay.
you can take your
Before the
beautiful.
amp comes.
Correct.
That would be perfectly set here.
Yep.
So that or compression. I don't know.
Compression always goes to the front of the chain.
What
I mean, in my opinion,
Okay.
and what I use
Okay.
it for.
Okay.
But that's what my other pedal board didn't have the compression in my switcher.
And what would compression do for my sound?
Many things. You can use it for increased sustain. You can use it for if you are playing a song where, say, you're banging some chords. Allows you to get sustain. It allows you to thicken your tone up as well.
Okay.
It has the ability to do that. Of course, if you have an amplifier that's already giving you what you need,
Which I think I like the sound of this.
you have the less need for pedal, which is actually the dream.
Okay.
The fewer the pedals, the better, I think. Tones,
Alright.
really. But also a compressor is great for a song, say, that you're composing, and you're banging some chords real loud, and all of a sudden you jump down here to some picking or whatever for a little in between leads, and then back to banging chords. So you're getting loud and you're soft, loud and soft. What a compressor is actually designed to do is to bring the lower volume up and the higher stuff down to a happy medium.
Okay.
So that when you're recording, it actually sounds better. That's why most studios have really elaborate compressors.
All right. Okay. I don't think I'm going to worry too much about compression on this particular amp, but
Okay.
it's good to know what they do.
Yep.
I think for my 3 setups, I want one effect to be, and it can be different for each one, some sort of chorus, phase, or
So we want to get into a. You're looking for like a psychedelic kind of sound. Is that what I'm kind of hearing? You know, a little vibey. Something
some sort of vibe.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then the other 2, I think, would be my distortions or gain structures. Now, in terms of how I put them in, I think maybe A and B should probably be distortions, and then C can just be my play one.
Yes. Whatever you feel.
What do you think?
There really is no rules, and
Because
there's
I'd
no.
like to do it for all of these that we set up, the same situation. There'll be different effects,
Right.
but same combination of those. So, going with that, so let's put some sort of effect on A. So I'm just going to hold it so that I can go in here and adjust what we want. And for this, I want to be able to take this sound and then just thicken it up a little for when I'm hitting some chords, you know.
Right. So
So
we can get a little bit.
so I go from this to just making that just a little,
With some more grit, hair on it.
yeah.
A little hair on it. So let's try to get either an overdrive or a boost to start with.
Okay, so I have some boosts.
Okay.
The lead boost, the boost pedal default, boost pure, and TB fat.
I think a boost pure might be what you're after. Let's try that and see what kind of options it gives us for parameters.
Basically just power, or volume, I mean.
If that's a bit much, I think they should give you some options to dial back. You want to take the distortion down to, say, 9 o'clock and bring the volume up to 12 o'clock. And adjust the volume to taste, of course. We want to stay at unity.
Right.
So when you click on the pedal, you want it to be just as loud. So you can raise the volume up, not the distortion or the gain, but the volume. What kind of? They don't give you anything other than the
Not
volume.
much on this one, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so this will be off.
That's on, right?
And then
You have to get out of there, don't you? There you go. So do it without it. It's on right now. So let's hear it without it.
It's almost the exact same. So
Yeah, I don't hear anything. That's a real pure boost. Okay. So I guess crank the unity just a little bit then. There you go. Okay, now click it off so that our decibels are the same. Let's hear it. Now strum it the same. Okay, dial back
I don't
just.
like this one, so I don't like it.
Well, I was gonna say dial it back just a little bit, but there is a bit more hair on there than I'd like. But try this. Hold on, real quick, before we go further. Okay. Now, here's without it. Go ahead and strum.
Level, but I'm not liking the.
No, because it's a fine line, and it goes from like a little bit of the same sound that you already have to.
Oh, that's a little better.
Okay, what I want to do is take the volume down a little bit, not by much, because I'd like to see. I would like to see the levels not increase as far as volume, but more distortion come in.
I guess so.
A little less volume.
Without.
Better.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, just adds just a touch.
Right.
Now, does it change the flavor too much? So if like.
I like it.
It's not bad.
I like it. Almost. I do like that. That's going to have its place. I'm not.
I almost want a little darker, maybe.
Yeah, it's too bright for me. Is there an EQ on
a
there?
mix and a tone. So the tone.
There you go. The tone is what we're after. Okay, you need to roll the
down.
tone.
Probably.
It depends. Some of them are different. Find out which one is which by just.
We'll try going down a little bit.
So
We'll
let's
move it
go
up
down.
quite a bit to make it.
That way, make it drastic so we can tell.
Yeah, that definitely darkened it.
Okay.
I think just a little more.
Yep.
All right. So this is without. This is with.
Okay. Definitely, it's giving you just that little bit,
Just enough.
just a tiny bit more. And I think at this point you might go ahead and take the volume and just boost it a little bit. Not a lot. Just give me a little bit more on the volume end of the pedal. Not a lot. Just a very little bit. Now, yep. See what happens. Let's see if it's too much. Because when you're playing in a band mix, you want to have just a little increase because what's going to happen is like you said, you're on those power chords. When you want to come down on those power chords, click on the pedal for say the chorus. Boom! You want to hit that, and you really want to start filling some stuff out. And if you don't give it just that little bit of decibel boost, you're lost in the mix.
Right.
So it's not like you're trying to come in and jack volumes up, but really thicken some things up.
And this tone, I mean, it's still the same amp. This is
The Fender Twin.
This is exactly what the same amp we started with. A nice clean tone.
Yep.
We can add that in. Just a little bit more.
Yep.
But then those will work better when we're hitting, you know. Just adds
Yep.
a little flavor to it.
Right. Yeah. Thickening it
Now-
up. Yeah.
The next thing I want would be like if I'm going to go lead.
Yes.
So now I want distortion, right, of some sort of.
Not always. No, you can do multiple different things for a lead. You can do.
I could use both.
Yes. You can stack. pedals.
Right.
Okay.
But for now, I want a good one without it, I think.
Right.
And then see how it sounds with it.
Yes.
Okay. So I'd go without first.
Yep.
And what would you suggest?
Since you're playing a Fender, you like the blue, green screamer, I think they call it in there, which is the tube screamer.
Try that one first.
That's a tried and true for a Fender style amp.
Yes.
If you were to put a, I watched this on that pedal show. They did a review, really good one too, of the tube screamer into a Marshall versus into the Fender. And a, what's that Russian pedal? The Big Muff Pi or the Big Muff.
I have a clone of that.
Yeah, the Big Muff. If you were to play that. Check Unity first. So play without it and then click on. I want to check Unity because I don't know if the Kemper sets Unity up for you. Okay, play the same lick and click it on.
Well, I'll try.
Take the volume down just a very small
just a
hair.
little bit, right.
A very little bit. Because Unity is the important factor here. Because we can bring the gain up if they gave us a gain structure. Okay. Okay, click it on again. Take the volume down a little bit more. Take your tone to the darker side just a little bit. The darker side.
I have a drive, which was probably like a gain.
Right, we're going to bring the drive up in a minute.
That seems closer.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now for a lead, I'm going to say it still might be a bit weak for a lead tone, like in coming out with a, are you looking for fire breathing kind of stuff going on here? Or?
So yeah, I guess it's my flavor, right?
It's up to you.
So if I turn the drive up a little,
You can make the dragon mad. You like that? But while increasing the gain, you might have to bring the volume down because we're getting too loud right now. So we need to take the volume down and the gain up. Okay, click it off. On. Not bad.
if I put them both on.
Right, you can stack. Now play some You notice how just by having the tube screamer on, you get a little bit extra grit with it.
Yeah.
And you're stacked too, so you've got two overdrives kind of bumping. They're fighting, you're working with each other. And
What do you think of this tone?
a great bluesy tone is what I hear on that one.
Yeah.
Now flip it all the way down to the bridge position. Bring your tone back on the guitar a little bit. Get rid of some of that high. Crank your volume on the guitar.
It is.
Good. Yeah, tone on the guitar a little bit. It's bright, very bright.
I don't know that stagnum really changes much.
Right.
Fills it out.
It's a little thicker, which is kind of what you were going for on the first pedal anyhow.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that needs to be something more.
Yeah, to me, I want more oomph out of it.
Because honestly, I feel like if I turn that off, I'm almost getting that same. Oh no, that's definitely different.
Yeah. Yeah, you want.
That sounds terrible. What did I do?
You're in the bridge position.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit
Not too many
different.
people like single coils in the bridge position for
Yeah,
lead stuff.
I don't usually play in the bridge position.
I think, you know, most gravitate this way for lead. Good humbucker. A Strat is really, for me, I just find it quite tough.
So can I get dirtier?
Yeah, oh yeah. We need to, you know, playing with a Fender, we have to test different types of distortions because I'm not familiar with how the Kemper works if it's real world like where.
They're very similar. I mean, do I want a fuzz?
You know, I mean, yeah, I love a good fuzz. If you can do a Germanian fuzz, try a G fuzz if they whatever they call it in there, a Germanian fuzz. That's what I have on my board, and that thing, you can get some really cool.
Sounds like it might be a bit much.
We shall see. Okay. Yep.
Drive.
No, keep the drive up. Bring the volume down. Okay. Where's your tone at?
There's a mix.
Oh, there's a
Drive,
mix.
mix, and volume on this one.
Okay.
It's down all the way. But I have a mix. I can just not mix
There
it
you
as
go.
much.
There you go. There we go. Turn the fuzz up now. The fuzz.
Well,
Yep, far left. Not the mix.
this is the drive.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the drive, yeah. Most guys take the fuzz to all the way up.
Okay.
You're starting to get into that territory. I'm liking the sustain.
Yeah, I like that too.
That a fuzz makes for a great lead tone. The pedal I was using all that yesterday and the day before was that duelist pedal that you see there. That is a emulation of a tube screamer and an OCD overdrive.
Right. Now my lead's definitely got a volume increase, but I want that.
You want just a little bit. You just don't want to be powering everybody out of the room.
Right.
So yes, you want to have a little bump because naturally when you're clicking on that point, the song is starting to heighten up.
That's completely clean.
That's got hair on
Now if I want both of them on.
it. Now you're poking out. Which is what you need to be doing.
Good. I like those.
Yeah, that's
I think
a nice sound.
I think that's good.
Fuzz is good. It's Jimi Hendrix, baby.
Okay.
Through a Marshall.
Now, for C, I probably wouldn't necessarily put either of these on, especially not to start.
Right.
But I'm thinking with this, like I've always liked a phaser, but a vibe might be what I want to go with.
You know, a vibe is more subtle. It's not as where a phaser is a wah wah wah.
But a vibe or a phaser could go post.
Can go post
Just
or
fine.
pre. That is again, nothing is set in stone. But,
No. But for what I want to do, I think I'd put it post. It makes more sense to me.
that's
So-
kind of neat. I like that. Mine are pre. I got both my vibe and my phaser
Yeah.
pre.
I don't think it makes a huge
But it
difference.
does.
For me.
If you're running through a clean,
I don't know. Whatever sounds good about the end.
if you're running through a clean amp, it really doesn't matter. If you're running things through an effects loop.
So let's try X right now. Let's try vibe.
Do they have anything that's like a univibe?
I think my uni vibes are with the phasers because there's uni.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that's a univibe.
Let's try that.
So I got two of them here. There's a uni default and a uni vintage.
Do the uni vintage, of course.
Let's see what this is.
Very subtle.
I've
You
got
can do a
the
Waylon
great-
Jennings on that one.
Yeah.
That's total Waylon Jennings. This time. That's beautiful like that. I like that.
Just the way it is.
Yeah, I do. I like that. That's it's nice and subtle, yet still has a bit of that weird stuff going on that you like.
And I don't think you would probably use that with effect. Like I wouldn't put that on with distortion.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes the lead works are good.
All right, so I'm gonna put the lead, one of the distortions on with the vibe.
Tell you what, do what Jimmy did. Put the fuzz on there. Don't do the overdrive
Okay.
and the uni. Let's see what she sounds like. Now boost it. Get into it.
What do you mean getting
Power
this?
chords. You know,
Oh,
maybe
power.
just.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, you know, I use it for a fun effect more than anything. I do
Okay.
like it clean too.
I like those.
Now,
I like
now strum a
those.
chord with it clean. You know, get a good power chord, make it loud, proud. Without it. I like that.
I like those.
Me too.
So what would I use? I have one more spot to fill.
Okay, one more spot to fill. I'm trying to think how I got mine laid out and what I've done. I like, you know, I don't know if you heard me doing some funny octave kind of sounds.
Not my thing.
Not your thing? Because, I mean, you can do like an octave fuzz type thing, and that's what that is, the Octron that I have on my board. And I just had a new pedal dropped off from Reverb. Yay, while I was here. It's another octave pedal. Trying the
What about a
Believe out.
tremolo?
Yeah, tremolos are nice.
Oh, here's vibes.
I mean,
I have a legit vibe. That was a phaser that we used there.
okay, yeah, well then try a...
A vibe. I have fast, sky, slow, subtle, watery.
You want to get real psychedelic?
Okay.
Go watery. Let's hear what that sounds like. It's a little hi-fi. I like that. Turn it off and then hear it yourself. It actually cleans your cleans up a little more. Seems
Yeah.
like. Oh yeah, here we go. some nice settings.
Alright, I like those. Now, I don't want them on when I turn on the amp,
Right.
but
Did we save them properly? That's the
I
thing.
need to store this. So,
We want to read the manual real quick?
how do we store these?
That's right. Intermission, folks.
We've got an effects
Just kidding.
Alright, so I have the effects I like, right? I can click on each effect, and I can click store. Or I can probably click on stomps, hit store, stomp section. If I can save the stomps section, or save the entire rig.
Yeah, which one? I'm guessing you want to just save the stomp. No, because if you just save the stomp section, that means any rig can use it. I'm guessing. So this rig that you're calling Nap's Fender.
So I'd like to save
Strat.
maybe the whole stomps section, but I think I should save it as the entire rig.
Because you want to set up another set of pedals for your other guitars, or do you want to use the same pedals?
I'm going to replace the existing one, and it's stored. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take it off of
We'll
it.
play on another amp real quick.
Okay. That's definitely a different amp. I go back to it. And those are my effects.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I like it.
So now we know how to store those. So we're good.
So Nap's rig, his Fender Strat rig is set. So whenever you plug in your Fender Stratocasters, now this is going to be the rig that you would hook up to
Now we have one good.
for any of your Strats. Now you can pull this one up and the pickups will probably sound different than that one, but you have the ability to
Well, let's see.
add different flavors to it. So now you're playing in the middle position on this one versus where you were before.
Definitely has a much bassier tone.
It
to
does. It certainly does. Of course, your tone was switched. It's a little better.
Still bassier. A little
Yeah, it
bassier.
is
So it does have a
bassier.
different-
That's the different pickups. The American Strat pickups versus the Fender Squares.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, John.
What's up, Nap?
That was some fascinating information you gave me on that Tuesday Gearday video.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, I really appreciated that.
You're welcome.
You know, I find those to be really handy.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody else thinks that.
If you do, you should subscribe.
Right here.
And here's some more videos for you.
Don't forget to bell it, yo. Cheers!